Some of our opinions may be wrong, and some may be right. You gotta tune in, alright? It's Pastimes on the Mic with your hosts, Niklaus, Feil, and Guy Buckley Jr. Hello, everyone. You're listening to Pastimes on the Mic. I'm Niklaus Feil. I'm here with my co-host, Guy Buckley Jr. We're just real fans. We're going to get real with sports. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we are posting weekly content. Guy, how you doing tonight, my friend? What a roller coaster evening we had. As you can tell by the jersey I'm wearing, I had fucking mixed emotions this week, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, jeez, man. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, man, but man, was that brutal. That was brutal. I mean, tell us how you're feeling, Nick.
Yeah, look, so, I've been as a sad Jets fan since when I first got into football. We're talking like 04, 05 here, whatever. Quarterback has been a rough position for the Jets. We had Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. That was a fun story. Mark Sanchez, the back-to-back AFC Championship Conference games. That was fun, sure. But, those guys aren't a Brady. They're not a Peyton Manning, not even an Eli Manning. So when you get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, oh, dude, back in March, man, we made that trade. It was like we sent over the picks. I just said it's worth it. It is worth it. We haven't had a real legit quarterback since probably Joe Namath. And Joe Namath, look, all love the Joe Namath, man. His stats aren't really quite there. He's very overrated, but I still love him. He brought us a Super Bowl in '69. So when Rodgers came to the Jets, the vibes were just different, bro. Just different, man. It was like, all right, look, he's older now. He might not be the MVP he was just a couple of years ago.
Back to back.
Dude, when he was just running out with that American flag tonight,
Dude, that place was on fire.
It was, dude, I've never seen it like that hype in a long time.
Dude, even at the end, I know I'm going a little ahead, but even when they returned that punt return, bro, Gibson.
Oh, dude, that
place it had like Penn State college football vibes, bro.
Yeah.
When they were saying, "Oh, whoa," I was like, "Yeah, bro, I want to be there. I want to be there right now."
The place was loud, man. And dude, like him running out the American flag and beginning the game, today's September 11th. Shout out to all the firefighters, NYPD, all the people who have sacrificed their lives, who are still struggling, sacrificing, with whatever post 9/11 disease. When Rodgers came out with that American flag, I was like, dude, wow, he's actually here.
I know.
First drive, man.
Almost pinch me in my dreaming type of feel.
Exactly, dude. Shout out to the boy, but
dude, I'm a huge Rodgers fan, man. I've been watching him growing up in the Tom Brady Rodgers era. I've always been Rodgers all the way.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that guy is just different.
Yeah, even as a Jets fan, dude, I don't know if it was because of Brett Favre or something. I always liked the Packers too. Granted, they're an NFC team, we're AFC, so we really don't see them that much. So I was like, all right, I can mess with the Packers or whatever. Yeah. Loved Rodgers growing up. But when I saw he didn't get up, dude, I was like, there's no way. And you know what? And I know he's an aging quarterback, but I did have this gut feeling. I was like, what if he does get hurt? What if he does get hurt?
You always have that back in your mind because, it's just it's just a thing that you're going to feel as a fan, like the Jets, what could possibly go wrong?
Exactly, dude.
Just like with the Mets in baseball, they had Scherzer and they had Verlander. They went all out, paid the big bucks for these guys. And, it just sometimes doesn't work out. But, what did Tom Brady have all the time? He had a good line.
Exactly.
He had a good offensive line. And I just don't think the Jets' offensive line, is as good as people say they are. They're not that good at the line.
And I agree. I definitely agree. You saw that a lot tonight. You especially saw that at the first drive of the game. Rodgers was getting attacked so early. He was trying to escape. And he can't move in the pocket like that like he used to, man. It's just
Tom Brady when he went to the Bucs, bro. They got linemen for him.
Yeah,
they got a line to protect him.
Everyone says quarterback's the most important position in football, which I agree. But at the end of the day, you need that offensive line.
Washington. When's the last time we had a quarterback? I'm hoping Sam Howell's the guy, but I had one good guy, RG3, growing up. I'm right there with you. You guys finally got your guy, but unfortunately,
we got him, then we lost him, and then I'm looking at my phone right now. I believe the reports are true. He did tear his Achilles. It's
Not the
just
best.
brutal. But here's the thing now. The Jets,
They're on the
it
market. They're back on the market for another QB.
here's my little I like to relate this to. The Jets are a 1968 Ford Mustang without the engine again. That's what it is.
Yeah,
They're
because they have so much talent, bro. Brees Hall, 2 carries to start the night, 109
Brees
yards.
Hall, Garrett Wilson with the awesome catch, the
Oh my
one-hander.
god!
Brees Hall looked great. Looked like he never tore his ACL. God,
And
man,
I didn't.
Lazard had a
I
few good
decided to. I
catches.
was all in on freaking Dalvin Cook. I benched Hall. I was all in on
Uh,
Cook.
Same here. I know. I had a few
Luckily, I still
parlays.
won, but
I
man.
had a few parlays of Dalvin Cook scoring a touchdown. I was like, I think they're going to ease Brees Hall in. I think that's what they wanted to do, but Brees Hall he took matters in his own hands, dude.
I mean, they kind of still did ease him in because he only had 2 carries and he just broke them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he took
just
matters to
broke
his
them.
own hand, man. But
I mean, yeah, but you wouldn't even have known he tore his ACL, man. He's. Luckily, I got him in Dynasty.
He looks great. So now the question arises is that look, Zach Wilson, he held his own tonight. I'm gonna give him his flowers. He did what he had to do. He got out there. He put them in field goal range. He threw that touchdown to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do. But as much as I want to root for the kid, I feel like the Jets might need a vet QB.
100%.
If Rodgers is out for the season, I saw that he did tear his Achilles for sure, so I don't know if he's out for the year. I didn't read too much of the report just yet, but I'm assuming he's going to be out for the year at this point. So, I mean, look, you got Matt Ryan, you got Carson Wentz. If the Titans keep slipping down, you got Tannehill maybe as a trade partner.
Yeah.
I think the guy got a vet QB at least. Maybe Zach
You
Wilson
gotta think,
too.
yeah. You gotta think that Zach Wilson's starting next week though, just because
for sure.
Like the new quarterback's gonna have to come in and learn the plays and all that. But I mean, if you get that vet, you're gonna have the vet experience with Aaron Rodgers on the sideline talking to Zach Wilson, but there's only so much you can do. Like he's not gonna be in the game actually, playing. Zach Wilson's gonna be in the game playing, and can he actually translate that? So I think they go out, they get someone like Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz possibly. Washington fan, I would not go in on Carson Wentz. I know he throws a lot, but I mean maybe, different system, he might be better, but I'm saying Phillip Rivers. That's who I think it is.
Wow.
That's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Because he had ties last year to possibly going to the 49ers when the whole situation went down. It's a possibility, and he's probably open to coming out of retirement.
I know, and I've always loved Matty Ice as well. That guy always airs it out. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'll take anybody. I'm down to see Zach Wilson though in week 2. Obviously, I think he's earned it. See how the kid is. I mean, look, he was their second overall pick just a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
maybe just you got to use him. Home talent kid. We'll see what happens. It's just super unfortunate news for the Jets. My Jets, we had it, man. Like it was a perfect 1968 Ford Mustang. We put the engine in, and they ripped the engine right out, dude. It's like
there's nothing you can do. Like you're sitting here as fans, you're talking. Like there's nothing you can do. You just gotta hope for the best. Hopefully the coverage quick.
We can't do anything. We're not the coaches. We're just the armchair GMs. That's it. Who knows? They might not even think about getting Matt Ryan or whatever.
Cam Akers, he came back in 5 months from a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously the quarterback position is a little different, but I mean, you don't have to be as mobile of a quarterback. Like obviously running backs are cutting and stuff, but I mean, listen, if you can get a quick recovery, be back hopefully next year for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
It sucks. You're gonna have to wait a whole other season to see Aaron Rodgers play, man. I'm sorry.
I thought waiting since March was long, and now we got to wait a whole another year. It's crazy. And he did reconstruct his contract. He is inked in for the next season as well.
And he's going to be hungry, man. He's going to be hungry.
He's not going to end it on that note. No way.
Oh, bro, no way.
He cannot end it on that note. He wanted to come here so bad. He developed such a great chemistry.
He wants to do whatever he can to not be compared to Brett Favre, bro.
Exactly.
He wants to go and win a Super Bowl for the Jets.
Exactly. And at that point, I mean, Brett Favre, as of right now, I know it's only week 1 and Rodgers is probably out for the year, but like Brett Favre has already accomplished more than Rodgers has if Rodgers hands it up. He's not going to let that happen. So
no, exactly. There's too much meat left on that bone, bro.
Exactly.
He wants to prove so much. But another person tore their Achilles this weekend. J.K. Dobbins, man, that guy just can't stay on the field.
That
Shut us
is
off.
that is
Oh
like
man,
that is like the saddest story, dude. He's younger than me. I'm
I know.
25. He's 20. He's only 24 years old. I remember him always being hyped up. I think I drafted. He's like, yo,
He
he's the
is
net.
good though. That's the
He,
thing.
he's
He
so good when
has it.
healthy. He's so good when healthy, but that's the problem when healthy.
Dude, fantasy owners are taking hits. I have this one person in my fantasy league. He drafted Jonathan Taylor and J.K. Dobbins, bro. Done.
Dude, I think my college league, I'll pull it up right now. I think this is the worst fantasy team I've ever put out on week 1. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
Oh,
Drake London at wide receiver. So that's 2 zeros right there. Kyle Pitts was having a 0 for quite a bit that game.
Ugh.
Me and your brother were watching that for a bit. Odell Beckham was a little scary. He had a 0 for like 3 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, but keep going.
Somehow this team almost cracked 100 points. I don't know how, but Garrett Wilson kind of salvaged my week, but took the L. But dude, I feel like fantasy and all was just weird this week. A lot of guys were just ass this week. I feel like
I wasn't really paying too much attention. As you know, I went to Washington, and that game was, let me tell you. I mean, to start the day, that game was hyped. Like, a lot of fans were there. I've never seen that parking lot so packed out, man. We get into the stadium. I mean, it doesn't hold that many fans as like MetLife. Like MetLife holds like over 100,000. Washington only holds like, I think they said they had a sold out crowd of 65K, but still, man, the flyover. I think that was the second time I've seen a flyover at some sort of sporting event. The first one was a NASCAR race. But yeah, that place was electric. It had a college atmosphere there, man. It was loud.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
I was hyped up, and I bought in, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too high on Washington this year after seeing that performance.
Yeah, so I wanted
to week 1. Everyone overreacts, but I mean, listen.
Week 1 is definitely, there's some overreactions, but I want to ask you. I didn't really tune much into Arizona versus Washington, but it looked like Arizona had them in a chokehold at first. How were you feeling at that point?
First drive, I felt, really good, honestly. First drive, even though they didn't score, Howell was completing a lot of passes. Passes I haven't seen before from a quarterback from Washington, all right? So you got to think. I've seen it all the way from Jason Campbell all the way to Taylor Heineke. So he was completing passes that I have not seen a Washington quarterback complete in a while. And then he did get a little shaken up. He looked like he had some problem holding onto the ball. But as lineman is a big deal. Washington doesn't have the best line, but they do have good receivers around them. Defense is definitely our strong suit, but the offensive line needs to figure it out because I don't see us competing in this division, NFC East, with no offensive line. You got Parsons and Lawrence in Dallas. You got Dexter Lawrence, Giants. That's his name, right? Dexter Lawrence.
Sexy Dexter, yeah. Dexter Lawrence, yep.
And then, Eagles are the Eagles. They got the guy from Georgia in the first round.
Yeah.
So the offensive line needs to figure it out a little bit. But, week 1, not going to overreact too much. Hopefully, we come back against the Broncos.
Yeah.
They didn't do too good either. Broncos lost by a point to the Raiders. Jimmy G. Jimmy G just stays winning, man. That guy just wins.
He does, man. He does. He does stay
Doesn't matter how he wins. He just wins.
But yeah, Howell had a pretty solid game overall. 202 yards passing, touchdown, interception. I mean, 22-year-old QB. You got to build off of that. So.
Oh, exactly. And you got Eric Bieniemy. He's obviously well known throughout the league with Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. Not going to give him all the credit because obviously Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but offensive coordinator obviously plays a part in that. But I'm excited to see what Sam Howell can do this year. Doesn't work out. You got Caleb Williams next year in the draft, but I'm really hoping Sam. I like Sam Howell personally. I think he has.
Me too. I think Sam Howell's gonna have a pretty solid year. It's not gonna be a great year. It might not be a Pro Bowl year.
He's not gonna be throwing for that many yards, but he'll get the job done.
If you show some upside, and like you said, it's gonna be a tough division.
He can run too, bro. He's not scared to run.
Exactly. He's got some legs.
You saw that first play where he got his head taken off?
No, actually, I did not.
You did not see that, dude. The first. Oh my god! Like if I could tell you, if I could run on the field, I could run on the field, man. If I wasn't up in the suite, Man, I was so mad when they ran out of him. Dude, they hit him out of bounds. He
Oh
was
my
he was
God.
going out of bounds, and I forgot the guy's name on the Cardinals. I believe it was number 7. Just came at him and took his head off, bro. And he
Wow.
had to go into to the blue tent and get a check for a concussion.
Scary, man.
First time he took off and ran, took his head off. And it wasn't even like it was a lot in that game too where that was happening. A lot of sketchy stuff with Cardinals players
Yeah,
hitting him late, but
dirty
came out with
birds,
the win.
man.
Can't complain. 1-0 out of the week. You are
Yeah.
too. So,
And
time's
speaking of
yours.
and speaking of offensive lines, man, how it's so important. You know, you look at the Giants on Sunday Night Football, dude. Daniel Jones is running for his life. Giants
Oh
got
my God. They had me
embarrassed.
in the first. They had me. They came out on fire,
They
bro.
did. That opening drive was great. Saquon looked great.
Daniel
Jones was
Jones.
doing his thing. But then it crumbled quick.
I was
Man. It
watching it on the
crumbled
ride home,
bad.
man, and I was just all my friends were saying stuff to me while I was at the Washington game, like if you're gonna lose to the Cardinals, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, Dallas is no joke, but 40-0, not even gonna put a point up.
Yeah. I know. It's
Tough. It's tough.
It
And
is
Dable
tough.
coming off Coach of the Year, man. I like Dable. He's the Ranger guy. Goes
Yep.
to a lot of the playoff games. But
That
man,
that
that's
Dallas
embarrassing.
defense just showed up, man. They showed
No
up.
joke.
Dak Prescott
Oh
didn't
my
have to do
God.
much. You didn't have to do much the whole game, and they
Now
won
when you
40.
crack a field goal and get 2 pick-six and return them for touchdowns, man, I just you're not
Micah
gonna have to do
Parsons,
much.
man, that guy's just
I
an
have
animal, dude.
him winning Defensive Player of the Year and leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, no, that's
He
a great
is
pick.
just
That's a
he is
great
just
pick. He's a monster.
unstoppable, bro.
He's
That
a
guy gets to the
monster.
quarterback. He can line up at D tackle. He can line up at D end. He can line up at linebacker. Jeez, put him at safety, bro. He probably
Yeah.
cover everyone.
No,
He's a freak.
He's a freak of nature, man. He's a beast, defensive juggernaut. But yeah, that offensive line is so important, dude. We saw it with the Jets, we saw it with the Giants, the Commanders, and Commanders and Jets had to squeak by for their wins, man. So they got to protect for your QBs.
I'm going a little out over here, but week 1, Thursday night, Lions Chiefs, man. What do you think about that?
Whew. Well, let's just say Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. Those are the guys to have in fantasy this year.
I know. Jared Goff's the other guy just goes out and wins.
Yeah, dude, Goff. Dude, I feel like Goff is so, or I'm gonna say was. I feel like his name has gotten a little more respect in recent years or recent months, I should say. But dude, like I remember when he was on the Rams. He is so overhated, dude. He was one of the most.
I know.
Overhated.
I mean, he's hated. I don't know why.
He's overhated, but man, that Lions offense is gonna be the real deal. And the run game is
bro. They didn't even use him as much.
Dude, the run game is gonna be scary with Montgomery and Gibbs. Gibbs looks insane, dude.
And that was the trial run that Dan Campbell said. He's like, there's gonna be a lot more.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Sample size.
They're just seeing what they got. Dude, Gibbs is so quick. He can break tackles.
And he got
electric
this year in the draft because of Bijan.
Nope.
So
Bijan, we're gonna talk about Bijan in a sec, but
yeah, I know.
Gibbs and Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and dude, you can't forget when Jameson Williams comes back week 7.
Oh my God, I forgot.
He is an underrated talent. I think a lot of people forget, how electric this kid is.
Oh yeah,
that's another weapon for Goff, and that's going to be a nightmare.
He's like a deep threat. He's fast. He's quick.
He's another quick guy.
And the Lions defense too. Aiden Hutchinson, man. That guy, he is another freak on the defensive end. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, the Lions definitely showed up against the reigning
in Arrowhead.
In Arrowhead. Granted,
that's probably the hardest place to play too.
Exactly. Granted, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Mahomes didn't have Kelsey," but like, I don't know, man. Mahomes plays pretty solid. It wasn't his best. It wasn't the Mahomes we know, but like. I don't know. He makes stuff happen, dude. He makes it happen. So I mean, the Lions, they just showed up. They were a much better team. I think if anyone was watching, they could tell you that they were much better.
Who knows? Maybe EB Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
he's the reason why. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta throw that out there. I gotta throw that out there.
Yeah,
man. I mean, I don't know. Mahomes definitely needs his guy back in Kelsey for sure.
For sure, no, he definitely needs Kelsey back. And like the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs' biggest drop in the offseason was not getting DeAndre Hopkins. Look,
Yeah,
dude.
not having a true number 1 receiver. I mean, who is
Dude,
their number 1 receiver
look at
besides
that wide
Kelsey?
receiver room. Kadarius Toney, Scatlin, Sky Moore.
Richie
Dude, like,
James
yeah, like, dude, come
just
on,
went out and
man.
got the whole Giants receiving core from last year.
Yeah, dude, like, come on, man. Like, look, no disrespect to any of those guys. They made it to the NFL. They're
Yeah, I
obviously
know.
somewhat talented. But, like, dude, come
I
on.
know.
You
I
have
know.
Patrick Mahomes as your QB.
I mean, they won it last year. Who was there? They had Juju last year. Is
Yeah,
that
that
the number
Juju.
1?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
listen,
he's not.
it
He's
worked.
just a guy who's gonna get
It
the
worked
ball.
last year, but it also worked to Tyreek Hill too. You know what I mean? You got to get him.
Yeah.
You got to get him as alpha dog. You got to get him an alpha wide receiver. Kelsey's
Talking
not getting
about,
any younger.
I
And I
mean, dude, you're talking about Tyreek. That guy.
yeah, Tyreek and the Dolphins, they have themselves a week.
I don't know if you want to get into that or you still want to talk about the Chiefs, but
Yeah, no, we can talk about the Chiefs for a little bit longer, but like, I don't know, dude. Like, you got to pair Mahomes up with like a D Hop or Odell, one of those guys that was available
sure.
all off
For
season.
sure.
But we'll see what happens at the trade deadline if any moves are made, because now with some overreactions from week 1, the Rodgers injury, I think the playing field has shifted a little bit. There might be some guys who are buying, some guys who are selling.
All these people that are sitting out waiting for get a team, like J.K. Dobbins just went down. They called up Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt's still available out there.
Kareem
Leonard
Hunt,
Fournette's
yep.
still available out there. Those are 2 solid guys that could fill that role perfectly.
Exactly.
Kareem Hunt's another catching back. J.K. Dobbins has filled that role.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of good talent left. Like we were talking about the QB earlier before too. Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. A lot of good names out there. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Chiefs are definitely going to be, especially, I don't know what the report is right now. If Kelsey's coming back for week 2, I think he should. But yeah, they're looking for their big guy at tight end to come back sooner than later for sure.
Back, he is just a freak athlete.
Yeah,
he could be the greatest tight end of all time when it's all said and done.
I agree 110%. And I mean, it could be a hot if we I know this is episode 1. I know this is episode 1. If we want to start the hot takes, I think Kelsey is the greatest tight end of all time. That's a hot take, but
yeah,
no disrespect to Gronk, but if Gronk was more healthy, Gronk by a landslide. But Kelsey, man, that guy when healthy is just an animal. But yeah, on to the Dolphins though. Tua, oh my god, dude, Tua.
I am the biggest Tua hater there is, and this guy just goes out and throws for almost 500 yards.
Dude,
I mean, but when you have Tyreek Hill,
yeah, dude, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you have 2 alpha wide receiver ones pretty much on your team. Personally, I like Tua. I liked him coming to the league, even as a Jets fan. I can admit that. I like Tua. Fellow lefty QB. I gotta give him some love.
Yeah,
but dude, if that offensive line can continue to protect him, dude. Hopefully, no more concussions, no more head injuries.
I just couldn't imagine. I don't even think he has the arm strength to throw it to Tyreek. Tyreek has to slow down a lot of times. He's catching that ball.
That is true. That is true. But I don't know, man.
I feel bad for the Waddle owners, man. I'm one of them.
I have Waddle in a bunch of leagues, man. I know.
And I try to stay away from number 2 receivers. But yeah, he did. You're right.
He had a solid game, but it's like his ceiling is so capped due to Tyreek Hill. It's so capped. Like he's not. I mean, he maybe like 1 or 2 weeks he might get you like 25, 30 points, but like you're probably looking at a solid 15 to 20 every week, and that's all you're gonna.
He's a wide receiver too, in fantasy all the time. Just because Tyreek.
It's kind of like a T. Higgins situation a little bit. You're playing behind Jamar Chase, guys. The
this week it didn't matter, but
and we'll get into the disappointments of the week for sure. That's like we said, week 1. It's a lot of overreactions, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of funky, weird stuff happens in week 1.
Week one, man. That's all I'm going to say. Week 1.
Yeah, and I guess what we can get into right now, the fantasy surprises and bust of week 1. Dude, I was just like looking over the whole world of fantasy football, all my leagues, every team. I was looking, I'm like, I feel like so many guys sucked this week, dude. Like, the majority of the league sucked this week. Like, I can't think of anyone who went really nuts besides Ayuk had a great game, Tyreek Hill, Tua. Those are obviously your greats of the week to play. But dude, like
McCaffrey,
he's money. Aaron Jones, Jefferson.
Eckler.
But
I mean, yeah, you got a lot. You got a lot of your normal guys,
but I was looking, dude. Like Lamar sucked. Joe Burrow sucked. Allen had a horrible night tonight.
horrible.
Horrible, dude. Just terrible. And I don't
Chase
know.
couldn't do anything. Jamar Chase couldn't do anything with Burrow
Yeah, the
not doing anything.
whole Bengals offense was shut down by Cleveland. T. Higgins goose egg. Drake London goose egg.
Yeah.
It's just weird. A lot of guys just like we said, it's week 1, but
Yeah, I mean that's not. I'm not gonna overreact about Joe Burrow. I think he's obviously just gonna hit the road running next week like nothing happened. But I just can't believe how bad these guys performed week 1. Like, it almost makes you think like, did they even play in preseason? I don't know.
exactly,
Like
man.
preseason is get your feet wet, feel it out, see how you're going. Obviously, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow have their chemistry from LSU and playing together so many years, but I mean, it's not, you can't just jump into it. Football's not a sport you can just jump into, and just start throwing the ball like you used to.
No, not at all. And I think we kind of really saw that with the Giants. Like,
Yeah.
they had that one nice opening drive, but then it's like, maybe reality kind of set in. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, it's week 1. It's Sunday Night Football. It's week 1 against, Micah Parsons and that pretty solid defense of the Dallas Cowboys. So, like,
Yeah.
they just weren't ready for it at that moment in time after the
Mm-hmm.
turnover. So,
And I think there's a crazy stat, but Dak's now 12-13, or he was 11-12 going into that game, and now he's 12-13 versus the Giants.
wow,
His career, he just doesn't lose to the Giants.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
What's another surprise? Cam Akers. What happened to him? Irrelevant. Kyron Williams, 2 rushing touchdowns. What's going on there? Cam Akers owners, what's going on? You tell me.
No, it's rough, man. I have Cam Akers in my dynasty league again, dude. I'm just like the Rams they just find a different formula, man. But
yeah,
he had that one touchdown though. Rashad White was pretty bad too. But Baker Mayfield, man, I mean, for the Bucs,
he pulled out a win. What? I saw that.
He pulled out a win. Good old classic Mike Evans, can never go wrong with him. He got that one touchdown.
I did bench him this week.
Yeah, one of the more consistent QBs in the league. But yeah, man. I don't know. It's just a lot of low scoring guys. It's like Brandon Cooks only had 2 points. When you see a 40-0 game, you automatically assume you're like, oh, Dak had a day,
Yeah.
But that was just old Cowboys defense.
I freaking lost in fantasy because defense decided to put up a 37 in fantasy.
Yeah, it was definitely a week of defenses, man. The Jets just showed it tonight. Let's see what we got here. Jared Cook had a solid game for the Bills tonight. But, yeah, no, I think that's the guy we got to talk about for disappointment. Josh Allen, man. Look, I know the Jets defense is great, but, dude, 4 picks tonight?
Lost.
Oh, my God.
And he had weapons to throw to. I'm like,
he had Diggs, man. Diggs had that one touchdown. I was like, all right, after Rodgers went down, I was like, momentum is still should have all the momentum right now. But James Cook was solid. He had a solid game for his first game of the year. Diggs had his touchdown, but man, Josh Allen, huge disappointment today, man. I was expecting. Heading into this game, man, I was expecting a nice air out game. Rodgers versus Allen.
Shootout. You're expecting a shootout.
Shootout, maybe not even a shootout, just a nice classic 27-21 game, 1-score game or whatever. But oh man, a lot of disappointments this week in football, man. It's just brutal, dude. But also a lot of high-end guys, Ayuk, like we said. So week 1's always funky. We'll see what trends stay, what trends go away in week 2. I'm expecting a lot of bounce back performances, especially by the Bengals.
100%.
Burrow's probably going to drop like 30, 35 points. Then you're going to have Chase, with his classic 20, 30 points. T. Higgins going to get a touchdown or so, whatever.
Shockingly, the Browns tend to beat up on the Bengals a lot.
Yeah, I did see that stat yesterday watching. Yeah,
they said 6-1 against them, so they have their number.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Who the Bengals got next week? Did it have?
Looks like it says NFL rumors that Matt Ryan is a name to watch for the Jets.
That's what they need.
Yeah, they need that vet presence for sure.
Yeah, look, I know many people who are listening to this probably don't like this guy, Zach Wilson. All love for Zach Wilson, man. He did show up tonight, but like we said earlier in the show,
I'm
gotta
gonna
get
lie.
him
I'm not gonna
better.
lie. I'm not a supporter of Zach Wilson, but
Nah, as a Jets fan, neither am I. I mean, look, I was high on this kid when he first came into the league. You just drafted, you gotta hype him up, whatever.
yeah, obviously you're gonna
But
support your guy.
but I don't know. That's from what I've seen, even especially from tonight. I think he can, hold you there, especially with this team. It's a great team, top to bottom. It's just the QB's the only sus part now, with Rodgers most likely out for the year.
Yeah,
But Matt Ryan, dude, I'm telling you, I'm down. I'm down. I love Matty Ice.
yeah.
Just get him on there, dude.
We do have a
Someone,
tough
dude.
matchup next week too.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The
That
Bengals are playing the Ravens. To answer your
so
question from earlier.
yeah. So Bengals versus Ravens. I mean, that's two huge bounce back candidates right there. Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow.
That's
Hopefully a
back to
shootout
back.
or something.
That's back-to-back division matchups for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Browns and the Ravens. Damn.
So and they're both fighting for a win right there.
hmm
The Ravens won or did they lose?
The Ravens, they're 1-0.
Okay, so the Bengals are fighting for a win bad. If they
Yeah.
lose, you're already down.
0-2 in the division.
You're on team. That's a hole. It's a 17-game season. That's a hole, man. It's
I will be in Pittsburgh next week for that game.
ooh,
Pittsburgh versus the Browns. So that
nice.
is another game that I did not expect to go the way it did with the Steelers. I mean, they just looked like crap.
Look, so head into the season,
30-7.
I am huge on George Pickens. Love George Pickens. He's one of my favorite young wide receivers in the game. I think he's going to take a huge step this year, despite last week's performances. Pickett looked a little rough. Look, the 49ers, they're the best
Powerhouse
team.
defense.
They're a powerhouse team. They're one of the best teams on paper, hands down, bar none.
hmm
So I feel like the Steelers was a little bit of a all right. Look, week 1 I'll give them a pass. I think week 2 they gotta show out. Pickett's he's gotta step up now. He needs to take the step
Big
this
time.
year
You're
instead
gonna
of
be
Daniel
playing at
Jones.
home on Monday night against a division rival in the Browns, bro.
He needs to step up. Him and Pickens need to develop that connection. They gotta step up. They gotta win. 49ers, they're just a juggernaut. So look, I'll give them some slack. That's a tough team. That's a tough
100%.
team to beat. Nick Bosa just got paid. Guy's a monster, bro. He's a unit. So
Their defense is just disgusting. I mean, their
it's disgusting.
linebackers are good too. Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
They're just good. It's a good team, good solid team.
The team's disgusting, dude. I mean, look at that offense, dude. When Ayuk is becoming your wide receiver 1, and
I wasn't a big Ayuk guy, and he's just going out there and doing his thing.
He's shredding
Just
it.
doing his thing.
He might be taking the reins from Deebo Samuel a little bit.
Oh yeah, Deebo. I mean, I think Deebo had a touchdown, but Ayuk just went off, bro.
Ayuk went nuts, and then all those reports about Brock Purdy looking like ass in the preseason. You can throw all those away, shove them down the toilet, and flush it. Brock Purdy, man, this kid
Deebo
stays.
What a touchdown! What am I saying? Oh my god!
Brock Purdy stays winning, man. This kid's made for the game. Look. Preseason, man, it doesn't mean jack, dude. At this point, I really don't believe in it anymore. At anything, Rodgers and Garrett Wilson is an amazing connection. Granted, we didn't get the chance to see it, but it's you can just throw it away, man. Brock Purdy, so many reports in the preseason saying he's horrible. Trey Lance might take the job, or Sam Darnold might take the job. Obviously, Trey Lance got traded to the Cowboys.
There's a reason why they traded Trey Lance, man. They have their guy in Brock Purdy.
And dude, Brock Purdy just shows out. He shows out week 1 against the Steelers.
I mean, listen, he's got weapons for sure, but I mean, he knows how to, get up in the pocket, throw the ball.
You can plug him in, and you're gonna get a solid game out of him with that offense.
For sure.
Cannot go wrong. But yeah, Steelers was a little bit disappointing, but I think we're gonna see better performances, mainly by George Pickens.
There's a team that knows how to win. I mean,
exactly. Mike Tomlin, dude, he's one of the best head coaches of all time.
For sure.
You can't go wrong with him. He's kind of like Belichick light, It's like
Yeah.
You're always going to be in there. Or I
I
have
know
a
where you're
bad
going with
I
this.
have a bad joke right there. I'm not going to say it. Yeah. So I mean, look, he is kind of like a little bit of like a Belichick Jr. though. He always keeps the team
For
in the
sure.
hunt. You're always in the hunt. You're not fighting for first overall pick usually. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, week 1 was packed with a lot of stuff, a lot of funky, weird stuff,
For
especially
sure.
for my Jets. They lose Aaron Rodgers. They still pull out the win against Josh Allen, the Bills.
That's a big
Defense looks
division
great.
win.
That's a huge
On
win.
prime time.
That's a huge win on prime time. That's a huge win for the Jets. And I think it buys them a game. It buys them time to figure out
Mm-hmm.
QB. It's like, all right, look,
100%.
we're 1-0 now. Like you said, Zach Wilson, you're going to get to start week 2. Maybe they sign Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, somebody this week. Sign him for a 1-year deal, whatever. Plug him in week 3. If you're 1-1, hey, I'll take it. Get Matt Ryan or somebody up to speed with the offense. So
And they're a veteran, so they'll come in, they'll learn it, they'll know what
yeah.
to do. They know how to manage games. So, I mean, so how do you feel though going into next week with the Cowboys? What do you think? I mean, that's a scary team, man.
So if the offensive line is anything like it was today, and especially with Zach Wilson at QB, look, I'm a Jets fan, and I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I think we're taking the L next week. I think this week, tonight, was a great story. It was a
Mm-hmm.
great story for the Jets. Jets fans can remember this for forever. The game that Aaron Rodgers gets hurt and they somehow still manage a win against what is supposed to be an AFC powerhouse in the Bills.
Yeah.
So look, I'm going to be real. From what I watched on Sunday night, Cowboys Giants, the Jets are screwed next week, dude. We are screwed next week. Look, next week on this pod, I hope I'll eat my words. I hope I'm wrong for my Jets fans' sake. If Zach Wilson, the Jets, somehow pull off a win against Micah Parsons and the Cowboys with our mid O-line, God, then I guess we gotta go for the Super Bowl at that point. But I'm not expecting much. And look, dude, I wasn't expecting too much after the Rodgers injury. I was like, hey, look, listen, we're in the game still. I'm not expecting a win, but the fact that we got the win made me hype.
Oh,
the defense is there. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall are there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but dude, it's a 1968 Ford Mustang just without the engine now. But Zach Wilson, if he proves everybody wrong, man, shout out to him. Hopefully, he gets the job done.
I hope for your sake too, man.
But here's the thing, though. Dak Prescott under the pressure of the Jets defense as well. I mean,
That's
look,
something to look at.
He throws a lot of interceptions. Josh Allen threw 4 tonight. So, I mean,
listen, you could force teams to turn the ball over and you get the ball in good
we could see a 6-3 score game next week against Dallas.
Yeah.
So, could be a defensive battle. We'll see what happens. So, I mean, I don't think we're totally out of it, but I feel like I think it comes down to our offensive line.
You just got to think after losing Rodgers, you're like, do we really have a shot? I mean, obviously any game's anyone's shot, but I mean, listen, Dallas's best player is their defense.
Exactly. And that's the same with the Jets right now. That's the same with the Jets.
I was being a little sarcastic just because, their defense scored so many touchdowns. But obviously, they got Pollard, they got CD, Dak's Dak. So, I mean, I'm not too high on Dak. They do have those
offensive weapons.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Cooks, Gallup, for sure. And I don't – who's their tight end? Is it Ferguson?
Ferguson, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, should be a good defensive game, but, I think Dallas pulls on that one.
If I had to put my money on it, I think Dallas probably wins that, But we'll see what happens. So week 2 coming up for the Commanders is the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
How you feeling about that? You guys are 1-0. Broncos are 0-1 after a heartbreaking loss against the Raiders. How we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson still, I mean, obviously maybe an overreaction, but you saw how he did last year. I don't think he looked that hot this week against the Raiders. Raiders came out on top. So I think, Washington goes back. They look over film. The enemy, really talks to Howell, figures things out with him because, the defense, they look spectacular. So I think they'll be fine against Denver's offense. I think our defense beats their offense up. It just depends on how we're at our offense plays against their defense because obviously shout out Sauce Gardner, but they also have Sartain there in
Yeah,
Denver.
Surtain's a sick.
He's
He's a
a freak.
talent, man. Yeah,
Yeah, so
he's
I
a sick
mean
player.
that's really going to be a test to Sam Howell, seeing how he reads the defense, and he looks good in the pocket. I think Washington pulls out a win there for sure, but
Yeah,
it is hard traveling to Denver, playing in that altitude. So
yeah.
they're going to be it's hard to travel and win. So I think they pull out another ugly win like they did against the Cardinals because the Cardinals are not a good team at all. I thought Washington was better than what I saw, but again, week one. Hope they come out and they start looking like the team I think they're going to be. You know, but yeah, I think
Gotcha.
Washington pulls out the win.
Gotcha. So yeah, hopefully both our teams are 2-0 next time we talk. So I think it's time to maybe leave the gridiron and let's go to the diamond, talk some baseball.
Okay.
So look, we are both Yankee fans. Whoever is
Yes,
listening, we are both sad Yankee fans. The season's pretty much over for us, but I think there's definitely a lot to talk about with this team.
for sure.
Look, we had a little fun week right there with the kids getting called up. Jasson Dominguez, 4 home runs. Dude, I lost Jasson Dominguez and Aaron Rodgers in the past week. I was going insane for a little bit earlier tonight, no doubt about it. But now look,
It's just
man,
another taste of what you think you got, and then it's just fucking taken away
it's
from you,
gone.
man.
It's gone. It's definitely taxing on my mental health. But yeah, listen, Jasson Dominguez though, he got Player of the Week, 4 home runs,
He
20
looked
years old.
so good,
He
bro.
looked amazing. He still is.
Everything that he was said to be, he looked like he was on his way to be another freaking,
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
saying superstar, man, but he looked insane.
dude,
He's got that in him.
he literally looked like, and these are the comparisons. He literally looked like Mike Trout and Mickey Mantle. Like he's
Yeah.
a stocky center fielder. He's got speed, tons of power. Dude, he was, and he still is when he's healthy. He's our Ronald Acuna. He's our Juan Soto, our
Yeah.
Tatis. You name it. He's that young guy you call up early. So I
Mhm.
mean, look, there's really nothing positive to look at with this whole situation. He tore his UCL,
Yeah.
but if I had to make a positive out of it, it's the same injury Bryce Harper had,
5 month
and
injury.
Bryce Harper is a known fast healer, so I'm hoping the same for Jasson Dominguez.
Yep.
Look, he gets the surge or whatever he needs to get done. Get it now. Just get it
Yeah.
now.
Don't even
Get it
wait.
now. He could be back by May. That's
Yeah.
not the worst case scenario. So I mean, if it's a Bryce Harper situation, we'll
I
take
would
it.
just talk to the same specialist that Harper talked to and
Yeah.
send him to that guy. And, hopefully you go through the same rehab he went through. Maybe, you get the same exact thing he happened to Harper and, hope for the best. But, it seems like it's just happening to everyone. I mean, Otani's going through it too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, it's ridiculous. And the one thing that scares me with the whole situation, though, is the Yankees medical team. That is what scares me.
They're known for telling you one thing and you find out another, just like with Judge and his toe.
We had Anthony Rizzo seeing double for 2 months, throwing him out there every game. What are we doing, dude? We've messed up with Stanton many times. We've messed up with Judge. So don't do it to this kid. If you have to, fire the whole medical staff, fire the whole analytics department. Do what you got to do. Protect this kid, please. So,
look, I mean, at this point, are they just like they just putting people out there and like put up a good lineup and hoping they pull out the win instead of taking care of these players and getting them looked at and getting them help? Like, are they that stuck in their ways where they need to win that bad?
That's the grand mystery. It's look, we've been out of the postseason race for well over a month now, but they still just keep fighting and playing just to get that 6th seed, man. And look, it's not going to happen this year. I do like the mentality that, hey, we're the Yankees. We're not known for tanking. We're not known for, just putting crap out there. I think they're
scared to like come to the realization that it's just not this year, man.
It's not this year. It's not. And look, it's the year the Yankees needed. This organization needed. We had a bunch of trips to ALCS. We lost to Houston every single time. But when you really look at it, especially in the ALCS, those numbers, dude, we were horrible in the ALCS most of the time, dude. 2019 was probably our best shot, or 2017, as a matter of fact. But like, dude, like last year, we went on that trip. We watched it. It was horrible, dude.
You saw me. I went to bed, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was horrible, bro. Horrible, just horrible at bats.
We walked into that Airbnb and we saw a Phillies Yankees helmet next to each other.
Yeah, I was
that's
like,
a sign.
is this a sign?
We're coming back. We're winning, and then
Yeah.
this Astros kryptonite. We lose to them all the time.
And look, despite the offense has been a lot better on the Sean and Casey. That's been a great hire. I think that was a step in the right direction. Dylan Lawson had to go. He was horrible. Whatever the Yankees were cooking up with him, it was terrible, dude. It was horrible. Yeah. So I think the next step in line now is whatever more analytics department there is behind Boone and stuff. But Boone and Cashman, they're next up on the list.
Judge is a huge Boone supporter, man. He is a huge.
That's the thing.
I get it. You're going to defend your guy, but I mean, listen, man. You got to change something, and I know Boone's like I say to you all the time. He's a puppet, man. He just goes out there and says what.
He is.
I'm here to defend your guys, but I mean, bro.
He is a puppet, and that's why I'm going to defend him for a second, because I feel like half the moves that are made, he has nothing to do with. He's just he really is a great clubhouse guy. So it's like, if we can remove what other analytics we got, because let's be honest. Everyone in Major League Baseball uses analytics. We just have bad analytics. The Astros have great, phenomenal analytics. Justin Verlander said himself, compared to the Mets. The Mets had pretty subpar analytics as well. Just goes to show the type of season they had.
Yeah.
So Boone, I respect Boone for he has the clubhouse under control. That's huge in any sport.
Yeah.
More so for, basketball and football or whatever. But, like, he's got the clubhouse down pat. So if what we're saying is true, he's not really the whole mastermind by these horrible decisions. I'm down to keep Boone for a little bit longer. Cashman, on the other hand, look, for all my respect to Cashman, gave us 2009, gave us 2000. He has put together some great teams. He's made some great signings. Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole. He's made some bad decisions. We've had the Josh Donaldson trade. We've had some bad signings, but I think Cashman, he's the true one who needs to be on the hot seat. And look, like I said, all my respect to him, but I think his ideals and his ideas might be a little outdated in this day and age. So Boone, I'll give Boone some slack, but Cashman definitely on the hot seat, and maybe Boone and Cash come hand in hand. If Cash goes,
I
goes.
see what you're saying. It is, obviously if we went out and they got a whole other new manager instead of Boone, did away with Boone, it would be hard for that guy to, get the hold of the locker room. Boone already has it, and it's great that the captain and Judge respect him and likes him. So that is a positive. I'll give you that. But I don't know. I just feel like, when a team just keeps, redoing the same exact thing every single year, you need to switch something up.
I agree.
And I don't know how you feel on him, but I'm done with Stanton too. I think he's another, old washed up guy who just doesn't have it. But what am I to say? Just my opinion.
I hear you.
But listen, he'll probably go somewhere else to freaking Red Sox and, go kill us there. But just because that's what every Yankee player does when they leave. But I don't know. I just don't see a world where the Yankees are winning with Stan. I'm sorry. You might be a supporter of him, but I'm not.
So I get the frustration, and I think
it's more frustration than it is. It really is.
I think many Yankee fans will agree with you, especially after the season we just had. If you would have asked me back in July, I was like, dude, get rid of LeMahieu, get rid of Stanton, get rid of Rizzo. I was very just like, dude, get rid of all the old guys. I was all for 100% youth movement. The thing with Stanton is, I will say this about Stanton. He's going to be 34 years old soon, if he's not already, because I think this is his age 33 season. So I think he's entering his age 34 season, if he's not in already. But look, 34, You're getting there. You're getting up there in age. Your power's going to start to decline. Your overall numbers are going to start to decline. I love Stanton to death. When he is healthy and in one of his strides, he is one of the best hitters in baseball. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, it's going to be tough. And here's the other thing with Stanton now that's kind of bugging me about Stanton. So Bryce Harper had his injury or whatever. He has moved to DH and first base. So if we want to do the same thing with Jasson Dominguez, he's only 20 years old. He's going to play the outfield again, no doubt about it. But to ease him back in and to get him back earlier, he's probably going to play DH. So Stanton can't hog up that DH spot for the first few months. We're going to need him to play right field a lot more. So I get the frustration of Stanton when it comes to his health, his overall lack of play, and his position. But I think what we have to do is, and a lot of Yankee fans might, be like, "Oh, we're stuck with him. He has a no trade clause.
We are.
We're stuck with him. We have a no trade clause. The best possible thing we can do for Stanton, he plays better when he's in right field anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we have Dominguez on the DH spot, hopefully for the months of May and June, hopefully that's it. Maybe get Stanton revamped. The thing is health with him. And look, he's going to get hurt. That's just the thing. So I get the frustration. I do. I just accepted the fact that we're stuck with him.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike him. I don't mind him really. He's been a little bit better as of late.
I mean, but isn't it just if we just get, when he's healthy, it's like when he's healthy, he's this guy. When he's healthy, he hits home runs. When he's healthy, he does this. Yeah, when he's healthy. But when is he healthy?
I know.
He's injured more than I think he's missed more games than he's played for the Yankees. And I could be overreacting and just pulling that out of my ass, but dude, I just feel like we're talking more negative about this guy than positive. And I might be one of those guys that's quick to pull the trigger on someone and just be like, get him out.
Yeah.
I as soon as we traded for Donaldson, I'm like, okay, we're fucked. This guy stinks. This guy's not good. He's not.
I hear.
He just wasn't it. And you're telling him, and what did Cashman say? Oh, well, Gio Urshela is no Josh Donaldson. Yeah, because Josh Donaldson sucks. He used to be good. He used to be a good third baseman. He was an MVP, but he sucks now. You went out and you traded away Gio Urshela for frickin' Josh Donaldson. Granted, Gary Sanchez was Gary Sanchez, whatever. I mean, he's doing good now on the Padres. I mean, he's found a fit there. He's still on the team. So, I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
It is frustrating. If there's any help whatsoever for the cause, Stan's power is definitely still there.
Oh yeah, I know. He doesn't move in the box, dude. His legs stay, and his upper, but it's all from his upper body, bro. He kills the ball. But on a positive note, Yankees have Judge. Garrett Cole's having a crazy year. So there are some positives. Unfortunately, this just isn't the year for them. But there's some positives to pull out of the year, like Volpe. He came together. He really found himself. I think
2020 season.
I think his average would definitely be up more if he didn't lead off a lot at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
But he does strike out. But he's when he's on the bases, man, he knows how to get to the next bag.
I think next season
breakout year.
It's going to be a crazy year for Volpe. I'm saying 20 home runs, 50 bags. Hopefully, maybe a 260.
And the bags are bigger, So yeah,
260 plus BA. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I mean, look, we're stuck with Stan. That's just the hard reality of it.
As a Yankees fan, they're going to go and they're going to compete next year. They're not going to go and
they're probably going to start off hot. They're going to start off hot next year without Dominguez. I guarantee it. They're going to start off really hot.
And I'm hoping for a better year from Rondon too, man. The injuries with him, obviously, injury bug killed us this year, but I hope next year he really finds himself.
If I had to give a player slack and a pass, it's Rodon. And like how we said with Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, I give him a pass because they're the 49ers. They're insane.
Yeah.
Rodon got thrown into a shit show of a season, which is the 2023 New York Yankees. A total
Yeah.
shit show. He didn't have a right spring training. His spring training was his debut in the Bronx against the Chicago Cubs.
I was there.
And yep, so was I. And
Yeah.
he was solid that game, dude. He threw a lot of strikes. I think a lot of pressure was just on him that game. He gave up the home run to Cody Bellinger or whatever, future Yankee, by the way. But yeah, I mean, Rodon got screwed, man. He got screwed this year. He hasn't been good. I'm a huge Rodon defender, but look, flat out, he has not been good this year. But
listen, New York eats you alive, man. You either figure it out or you get kicked out. That's how it
and
goes.
I love his energy. He wants to get booed.
Oh, he's on fire. When he's on fire, bro.
He's awesome, dude. I think we're gonna see a much better year, and I think we're gonna see a better year overall from everybody. That goes down from the top, Judge,
Yeah.
Stanton, LeMay loves Sean Casey. He's been on fire lately.
Yeah.
So I think a full year, especially with a spring training with Sean Casey, hopefully some more new coaches, new analytics team in the Yankees org. Hopefully a healthy Stanton, a breakout Volpe, and then just get our boy Jasson Dominguez back there.
I know.
Should be a better year. Cole's going to win the Cy Young this year, and then he's going to build off
I
of
mean,
that.
not a positive, but Florial's getting another opportunity now that Dominguez
and look,
is hurt.
Shit, we might as well use him. We've been letting him rot in the minors for the last 10 years. So
listen, if he goes off and does something, when Dominguez comes back, he could be trade bait. We could send him.
Exactly, yeah. If he has a hot week, he has a hot few weeks in the next season. It's like, hey, pull a Hicks, just trade him. See what happens.
Yeah,
get something from him, but we'll see. It's the classic Yankees. Sometimes they don't do nothing. Sometimes they do.
I think they'll do something. I think the Yankees will make some moves next year.
Yeah,
next offseason coming up.
I think Cody Bellinger. That's the guy they got to get. Realistically, I know Mike Trout's on the trade block now, whatever, but Yankees should not go for him. That's just another.
Listen, Trout's another guy who's like, he's awesome when he plays. He's awesome, but injury bug. He's just one of those guys that can't avoid it.
Nah, the injuries are catching up with him very sadly because he's still a young guy. I think he's just. I don't know, man. Some guys just made out of glass like that. It's sad.
It sucks.
But all right, I think to close out our show real quick, we'll talk about I guess we'll do some MLB predictions real quick since it's the we have three weeks left of the regular season. So I want to hear your takes. Let's do MVP, ALNL, Cy Young, ALNL, and Rookie of the Year, ALNL. So I guess we can start off with MVP. I'll get us started. So I'll start with the American League MVP. I guess just because it's so easy just to say it. And even with the injury, he's already took it away. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy's just an animal, dude. He is a beast. Not pitching the rest of the season, which sucks for fans, and especially for him. He probably just lost out $200 million for his off-season contract. But look, leading the AL in home runs, 44. He's batting .304. He's got a .412 OBP, 654 slugging. He's leading the whole American League in all those categories: sluggage, OPS, OPS plus, total bases. It's Ohtani by far, bar none. And then the NL MVP. The race was getting a little close, man, between these four guys: Acuna, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Olson. I still got to go Acuna. I'm still going Acuna here. Dude, this guy's going to have 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases while batting .337. That's ridiculous. With 200 hits on the best team in baseball, Acuna all day.
I'm going to have to agree with you for both, man. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, look, that's nothing to sell, though, from Freddie Freeman. I think I've been on a little bit of less of a baseball kick since football season started, but that didn't last too long. Freddie Freeman, man, 54 doubles. He's batting .336 as well. He's right behind Acuna for batting title.
I mean, Acuna's just a freak, man. He he steals. I mean, he hits home runs and he plays outfield. I mean, he's just the all-around baseball player.
Yeah, dude.
One thing he doesn't do is pitch like Ohtani. So I mean,
not yet. We'll see what happens. These guys are just freaks of nature, man. Let's see what he does. But Mookie Betts, dude, he's leading the NL in slugging, OPS, and OPS plus. But I think I think he got hurt though. No, I think he's
Betts?
back actually. Yeah, I think he's back. I think he
A
had like a little.
little stint, he got hurt, but he's playing again.
Yeah, he's playing again. Yeah, so he's back. So he's in the running, man. I mean, we'll see. I think it's between Acuna and Mookie. Matt Olson hit his 50th home run tonight, but like we said, give me Acuna all day.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess we'll go to Cy Young real quick. I just said it before in the show. Garrett Cole's my pick, and bias aside, Garrett Cole, he has just been.
He deserves
insane.
it, man. he deserves. He's in the running every single year, man.
He's had to put up with this BS team all year, and he still had a 2.79 ERA with a winning record somehow on this bullshit ass team, which is crazy. 204 strikeouts. First Yankees pitcher ever to have 3 straight consecutive seasons of 200 strikeouts. I think 3 seasons overall with 200 strikeouts. Leading the American League in WHIP. God, he's having an awesome year, dude.
Yeah.
Cole all day for the AL Cy Young. And then this guy for the NL Cy Young. So I was saying Snell all year. I was saying him all year.
He started off with a bumpy year, man.
He had a horrible start to the year. And I was pretty high on this guy too entering the season. I picked him up in most of my fantasies as like a late round flyer. I think my vote has to go to Justin Steele now. He's got 16 wins, which leads the NL. 2.49 ERA, leads all of majors, and leads the league in ERA plus 180. League average is 180 points above average.
I'm looking at NL leaders, and he's just won in everything besides strikeouts. Strider is 250.
Yeah, and Strider's just an animal. His ERA is a little too high, but he's going to finish top 3 for Cy Young just because he's on the Braves. He's having an awesome year. Awesome strikeout year. He's a flamethrower. Steele's got 159 Ks. He's probably going to round out to like 180 strikeouts this season, which is insane.
Yeah.
And Snell's definitely not out of the run, and he's right there. He's got strikeouts on his side.
I guess Zach Gallen kind of declined a little bit because he was up there for a while.
Yeah, he had a few rocky starts the last couple of weeks. He's either had monster starts or horrible starts.
He's a win behind. He has 15 wins, and then he's just about to break 200 strikeouts, but his ERA is a little shaky.
Yeah, so I'm going with Justin Steele and Garrett Cole.
I mean, you know me. I haven't been much on the baseball side, as you can tell.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
But yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you on that. I'm not going to talk too much on baseball predictions.
With Jasson Dominguez and Aaron Rodgers out, I think it's just hockey season now at this point, unless we get Matt Ryan or some shit. But
yeah, I mean, you know,
we'll see what happens. But
we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll do Rookie of the Year real quick. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Gunnar Henderson for American League. Kid's a monster. He's having a fantastic year.
I think there's only one pick for NL, and
that's
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll. Yeah, D-back. So yeah, those are great picks right there.
He's killing it.
He's a monster. But I think that just about wraps up our show. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week for more content. Be sure to follow Pastimes on the Mic. We're on TikTok, we're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Hit that follow button. Have a great night, everybody.